My name is Malek from Knack Training, and today's Everyday Office video is talking about using layer masks in Adobe Photoshop. So as you become more comfortable with Adobe Photoshop in resizing photos, saving them to various file types, etc., one of the core skills that you should develop is the ability to mask parts of your image, because masking allows you to hide part of the image. Now, let's consider the options here. If I go over here to the crop tool on the left-hand side of the screen, I can crop this image down and hit enter or use the check mark up at the top of the screen. What that will do is it will remove the rest of this image. The image will not be there. And so if later I realize that this was a mistake, I don't really have any ability to get that information back. Of course, right now, I can use the undo command or go back to my history to go back to before I was cropping it. And often people will get into this bad habit of using the eraser tool, right? Click on the eraser tool over here on the side and then just use it to actually erase big portions of the image. Again, you are eliminating something that you can never get back. Hopefully you realize your mistake while you can still undo the mistake. But you want to, as much as possibly, be non-destructive in Adobe Photoshop. And so the technique we're going to use here is to take the image as it stands and add on top of that image a masking image. So I go down here to the bottom of my screen. This is the mask button down at the bottom. Click on add a mask. And as you can see, a white block is put in next to the image itself on the layers panel. What this is illustrating is that there is a mask here. But when we talk about a mask is something that either shows the image or it hides the image. If it's showing the image, then it's colored in white. If it's hiding the image, it's colored in black. And as you can imagine, if you were to use a gray somewhere between white and black, you'd be doing something that's semi-transparent. So now, using the white block over here on the right, notice here that I can click back to the image and that will put a highlight around the image, or I can click back onto the white block, the layer mask, and that will select the layer mask. So we want to be selected on the layer mask. Now I'm going to go over here and use the brush tool. Grab the brush tool. I can increase the size of that brush a little bit. Let's say to about that big. And what I want to use is this black paint, as you can see over here on the left side of my screen. And now, using that black paint, I'm just clicking and dragging to paint in black all across the layer mask. And notice that as I paint across that layer mask, the rest of the background becomes transparent. Now what's important here is that I'm not actually erasing the background, I'm simply hiding the background. So the minute that I realize that hiding the background was a mistake, I can just unhide it and bring it right back. So as you can see, I've done something very, very quick here, but I have basically eliminated the background behind this woman's head. And you can see the corresponding black on the layer mask here on the layers panel. Now, if I right-click on that layer mask, you'll see that I can decide to disable it, which is basically saying let's not show the effects of that layer mask. And notice the beauty of it being able to come back and be there as it was the entire time. Now, not only can we use this with black and white, as I said earlier, let me go ahead and enable the layer mask there, but I can also use this with various shades of gray. So if I were to go over here to the fill tool and switch over to the gradient, now using a gradient I can go from black to white with various shades of gray in between. So now think about it this way. I want it to be hidden over here on the left and visible over here on the right, and I want it to gradually fade. So I'll click and drag with the gradient tool and let go, and you can see that over here on the far right, I can see the woman's face. Over here on the far left, I can't see the background at all, but in between, it's sort of a faint, semi-transparent version of that background. So again, anytime that you're thinking about eliminating portions of an image, consider masking that portion of the image, either with the paintbrush tool or with a gradient to gradually make that go away.